We've got users and authentication working. Now let's put these users to work. We're going to set it up so that we know who created each blat. In our code, let's check out our models. What we want to do is add a field here to show who created the blat. We can do this rather easily by importing our user model and then adding a foreign key reference to it. Now when we're in the terminal, we'll need to make a migration since we changed the DB structure. When we do this, Django will warn us that we're creating a non-nullable field and that we need to specify a default value for the records that are already there. What that means in this case is that we need to provide the ID for an existing user to assign all the blats to. If we had instead added a new date field, we'd need to set a date. If it were adding a numeric field, we'd need a number. In this case, I know that my user ID is 1. Unless you have deleted a user in your admin area, then your user ID is also 1. So I'll choose the first option to provide a 1-off value, then at the Python prompt I'll just enter 1 and press enter. Now I'll run my migration and everything is happy. Now if we go to the admin area and view our blats, you'll see that there is a user drop-down list. For all the blats, my user is the owner. Back in our home view, we can add another field. I'll use an @ sign to signify a user and then enter blat.createdby. Piece of cake. When we refresh our browser, we see the updated info. What would be nice is if users could see a list of their own blats. This view would be pretty much exactly like the current index view, except that the query would only show the blats for the current user. Well, these views are classes, and we have inheritance, so let's put it to use. We'll make a new view called myView and let it inherit from index view. We need to modify the getQuerySet method so that it uses the exact same query but with a minor change. So we'll copy that method over. Then, here before the order by, we'll add a filter. We'll limit it to createdby equals self.request.user.id. In urls.py, we need to add a route for my $$ that uses our new view. Then in the master template, we'll add a link if the user is logged in. Make sure you saved, then let's check our browser. If we're logged in, we see the new link, and when we click it, we see our own blats. Now let's break it. If we log out, then hit the back button, we'll see that we're still on that page, but there are no blats to show. That's not a good plan. It'd be better if we limited access to this page to logged in users. I'm going to surprise you and tell you that Django has a built-in tool to do this for us. What? You're not surprised? I will say that if we were using the traditional function-based non-generic views, this would be a little prettier. If I had a view like that, I could just decorate it with the @loginRequired decorator. However, we're using class-based generic views, so we need to get a little bit more complicated. We need to decorate the dispatch method. So we add the dispatch method here and simply call the super method in there to call the parent. Make sure this call here matches the name of the class. In this case, myView. Then we can decorate it with method decorator and pass in the loginRequired function. This is the one time in this project we're going to use code that I don't think is very pretty. But such is life sometimes. By the way, these won't work unless we import those helpers above. Now when we refresh the My page in the browser, we get redirected over to login. Note the URL parameter for the next points to the My page, so when we've succeeded in logging in, it takes us right back to where we wanted to go. This helped us get a long way towards the functionality that many of your apps will have. If you want, you can take this a little further. The prime example would be to add a foreign key reference for likes to a user. That way you can see which users liked a certain blat. That would help you prevent the same person from liking a blat multiple times. That would also allow you to show a list of blats on the user's My page that they liked in addition to the ones they created themselves. In the next video, I'll show you more about a user's profile and how to customize it.